suit, and someone called, and ever since they called, it immediately shut off the sound. That's my bad. But like I was saying, if you guys could hit the like button as you come in, that'd be great. What I was saying is, when it comes to everyday carry ammo, people always ask, what is the best? What is the strongest? You know, it's all, you know, whatever you want to carry. But at the end of the day, the strongest carry ammo is not found at your local gun shop. The best carry ammo is not found at your local gun shop. The best carry ammo is found online from specialty ammo manufacturers like Buffalo Bore, like Underwood, like Double Tap. Those are by far the leading powerful rounds in the industry. And then some 380s like Fort Scott Tumble Upon Impact, those are extremely reliable due to the shape of them. So, yeah, sorry about the sound, guys. I don't know what that was. I had no way to fix it. I'm not good with stuff like this. So if you could hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it. But like I said, I'll repeat it one more time. The best, most powerful carry ammo is going to be from specialty manufacturers, where all they do all day is sit in a, what do you call it? Sit somewhere and test their ammo and make it as strong as possible without giving your gun issues. So like I said, yeah, Buffalo Bore. Buffalo Bore is just a nasty defensive round. I mean, their goal is to give you the most power out of the round you carry. And you guys got to remember, if you're carrying a small gun like a Bodyguard 2.0 or an LCP Max or an LCP or a Kel-Tec, they all have short barrels. The shorter the barrel, the less power you're going to get. What's up, Tim Johnson? Hit the like button, guys, if you don't mind, as you come in. If you carry a shorter barrel gun, like a lot of people do nowadays, you are losing velocity. And if you're carrying a 380, you're also losing a lot of power compared to a 9, a 40, 45, 10 millimeter, 357 SIG, whatever the case may be, even a 45 GAP. So the best ammo is going to be found online. The best ammo, let's see. Tim Johnson, friends don't let friends carry 9mm. I try telling people, but the thing is that people don't realize how the firearm industry works. They don't realize the narrative, and they don't realize that you shoot a 9mm as your first gun, and then you shoot a 10mm. You're going to be so much more accurate with the 9mm. So much more accurate. So immediately the person would be like, oh, I should carry a 9mm because I can't shoot the 10. Instead of just working really hard with the 10mm and getting as good as you can and having a one-shot stop. Think about it. If a 10mm can put down a bear, think about a human. If a 45 gives you a hole like this, and a 9 gives you a hole like this, and a 45 has 300 or 650 foot-pound energy, and a 9 has 350 to 450 foot-pounds energy, what would you rather carry? Elemental, what's up, man? How you doing? Hit the like button if you guys don't mind. It's free. It costs nothing. But what you guys got to realize is they want to sell you the gun you shoot the best. And the gun you're going to shoot, Ozempic, wrong. Capacity is king, right? Okay. If capacity is king, why does self-defense encounters only like 3 to 6 rounds? Why isn't it 15 rounds, 20 rounds, 30 rounds? Because you don't get shootouts in real life. Unless you're in like some gang war, you're not letting off 30 rounds. The Duke, sir, I appreciate that. How do I feel about the 26 RXM frame at Chacha? Oh, it's going to be a game changer. The subcompact frame from Magpul for the RXM is a game changer. Now, if only the Echelon series would make that. Think about if Echelon made a subcompact. But oh yeah, I will be getting the RXM subcompact frame. Yeah, capacity is king if you have weak power. If you have a 10mm, it's going to take 1 shot. Why would I need 15? 1 or 2 shots versus 15. You're never going to use your 14th round. You're never going to use your 12th round. You're never going to use your 11th round. You're never going to use your 20th round. It's all a narrative. But I actually think on this stuff. I don't just get paid to tell you 9mm, cheaper to manufacture, cheaper to put on the shelves, cheaper to herd everyone to only 1 caliber. Do you think it's cheaper for a manufacturer to make 5 calibers, tons of it, or 1 caliber, tons of it, and just a couple of these calibers? It's cheaper. I'm sorry. You can manipulate an average to suit. No, it's just facts. Why don't you bring 9mm to the woods? Bring 9mm to the woods. Go to bear country and bring 9mm. I bet you won't. And there's a reason for that. 10mm gets it done way quicker than 9mm will. How many times have we seen cops pull out their 9mm and the person they're trying to arrest keeps coming at them? 8 rounds, 9 rounds, 10 rounds. How many times? How many times have we seen that? There's endless videos on the internet right now of people walking through 9mm like it's nothing. Because whether it's a mental health crisis, they're on, on stuff, whatever the case may be. They walk through 9s, or they're just a massive person. If a 10 does damage on a bear, you don't think it's going to do more on a human? That's insane. I actually saw a video of someone with a brrr on a Glock, right? It was a Glock 29 and 10 millimeter. I saw the aftermath of 10 millimeter shots. There was nothing left up here. Where this should have been was grass. It was literally grass in a jaw. If I'm just being real with you. I saw a self-defense encounter. It was actually between, gang members, but it was a self-defense encounter because someone came after him, even though he used an illegal firearm to do it. He was saving his own life, but that 10 millimeter, 10 rounds, left nothing left up top. Let's just be real. Nothing left. It was the most brutal thing I've ever seen. It was just grass. When he fell over, grass. It's wild. If you think 9 millimeter and 10 millimeter are anywhere near each other, it's just, I can't explain it. Go watch civil liberty testing of their 10 millimeter round. It is the nastiest thing I've ever seen. It's just pure nastiness. All right, let's see. I got rid of my Micro 9 and got a G3C and 40. Love it. Yeah, 40 is not that hard to shoot. Yes, at first it's going to be a little bit of a shock. 45 is going to be a little bit of a shock, but it's really a smooth round. You just got to keep shooting it. If you put as much time in your 40 and 45 as you do your 9 millimeter, you'll be fine. It's not that big of a deal. I want the most powerful. It's like anything. What's more powerful, rifle or pistol? It's more powerful. It's going to do more damage. It's going to be more nasty. Pistols, the more power you have, the more nasty it's going to be. Don't believe. Yeah. But we'll keep moving on from that. Let's see. EDC RXM appendix. Yep. The RXM is just nasty. Ammo choice is important. Better than 380. Oh, yeah. I carry 380 all the time. But actually, in my pocket right now, I have a 40. I kid you not. Is it the greatest pocket pistol choice in the world? No, it's not. I like 380 in pocket pistols, personally. Any gun's better than nothing. But like I said, when it really comes down to it, if the person's on something, a mental breakdown, an adrenaline rush, they weigh 300 pounds and are 6'6", they can walk through a lot more than the typical person. I mean, look at some of these Navy SEALs out here. They eat rounds and keep fighting. They eat rifle rounds and keep fighting. It's wild. All right, your boy, what? Oh, yeah, and also, speaking of Navy SEALs and Special Forces in general, I'm going to be going this year out to a range called Gunsite, Gunsite. It is the best range in the country. They don't do just stand there and shoot. They do real, legit training. So I'll probably go down there and film, and then a lot of people can learn what they train. And they get money from the federal government to train Special Forces. Their saying is up in like the barracks of like Green Berets. Like they're a legit training course. So I'll be doing that this year, and we will be filming out there. I talked to the guy at SHOT Show this year. Solid dude, very solid dude. Let's see. Yeah, I appreciate that. Sorry, I can't read that. There are diminishing returns after getting a bigger caliber. Wasn't more power. It's 9 millimeter occupied the best balance. I think 40 is the best balance of capacity and power. You lose 1 round or 2 rounds on a larger gun compared to a 9 millimeter. You'll never need your 15th round. So why not have 13 of real power? You'll never need your 11th round. So why not have 10 of power? That's my thought. But if you carry a gun, I'm all for it. Thanks for keeping it real on the everyday carry game. Smith CSX E-Series is my go-to. Oh, yeah. Great setup. Great setup. I love the CSX. Although I'll be real. My original CSX is way more broken in than my E-Series. So currently, I like the original better. But as I shoot my E-Series a little more, I'm sure it'll, break in the same as the trigger on my CSX. You really changed my perspective on everyday carry. I used to think I needed a bigger gun for everyday carry. I love my Glock 27, but if I had to choose, Glock 21. Oh, yeah. I'm not against at all people carrying larger guns. Nothing whatsoever. Oh, wait. I got something to respond to. All right. The Dukester sent $5. I really appreciate that, man. There's always people saying, but what if 7 people attack you? Why the heck are 7 people attacking me? Yeah, that's one. Just don't go to bad areas. I spend my life with my wife, my kids, and the range. That's it. I don't go outside at night. I don't go to bad areas. The biggest thing is get your family living in a nice area where you don't have to worry about this stuff. Yes, anything can happen anywhere. Anything can pop off at any time. But why not just set yourself up not for failure? Move to a nice area. Yeah, because I always used to get that comment. What happens if people run up on me, 5 of them with Dracos? We're not John Wick. You're done if 5 people walk over Dracos. You can do your best. They might run if you start shooting, but chances are if there's 5-on-1, by the time you get 2 people, the other 3 got you. It just is what it is. You got to think realistically in all this. We're not gangbanging. We're not in the hood. We're not, you know, shooting it out with people, you know. All right, let's see. Yeah, I got you, Ozempic. Nothing against 9mm. I carry 9mm from time to time. I'll carry my P290 in the pocket. I'll carry my Hellcat Appendix. I love my Echelon. My Echelon's one of my favorite guns right now. I love my RXM right now. Nothing wrong with 9mm. I'm just all for people having a gun on them. As long as you carry, I'm all for it. I'm just saying when it comes down to it, there's a reason why people carry long-barreled 40s, long-barreled 45s, and 10mm in the woods. If it didn't equate to more power, more damage, more stopping power, then people would just carry 9s and 380s in the woods against bears, right? Your boy, is Ruger LCP Max good for pocket carry? Of course, LCP Max is my favorite pocket pistol. It's not as fast as the Springfield 911. It's not as fast as the 238, but I love my LCP Max. For the price, there's not a better gun in the world, honestly. Call can. Ruger 5.7, good for home defense. Yes, it is. But with a 5.7 round, you got to be careful of your backdrop at home. You don't want your kids sleeping in the room, the room right across from you, and you're letting off the 5.7 because that's going to go through everything. Let's see. Your go in the woods with a 9mm is silly. It's that a case, and why don't you just carry a 454 or 44 Magnum? Because they're slower. Shooting a revolver in 454 and 44 Magnum are slower. That's why I say, have you ever shot the recoil compared to 10mm and a 44 Magnum? I have my tracker and I have my Glock 20, same barrel length. The 20 is much faster. That's why semi-autos are the king. But would I carry a revolver? Of course. I have 454 Casull up there. I have like every revolver round up there. Revolvers are great for the woods, but they're slow for everyday carry. They're too slow. The triggers are too slow, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. That's my preference. Let's see. Tim Johnson, 4-inch Shield Performance Center 40 and extra mag, and I'm never undergut. Oh, yeah. The Shield Performance Center and 40 is nasty. The way that the ports handle the recoil is just sick. Like, I live in Iowa. Ain't nobody rolling that deep, to be honest. I don't got no enemies. Exactly, Dukester. I live in a nice area. I live 3 houses down from the mayor. I mean, I think we're good out here. On top of that, this is the worst house to break in. Get some cameras for your house. Get some window breakers, glass breakers, whatever. Just get an alarm system for your home. There's a lot of practical ways to avoid a self-defense encounter. Don't go out at night. I have no reason. I'm a father of 3 and I'm a married man. Why do I go out at night? Unless you're in Vegas going, gambling or whatever. And then my wife's coming with me and the kids will be somewhere else. Like, there's really no reason to go out at night unless we're on vacation. And then that's where I have light setups. You know what I mean? And typically when you're on vacation, you're not going to bad areas. It just is what it is. Jonathan Mills, flat nose cartridges have the greatest penetration capabilities and do not deviate in direction. They stay true to course in a straight line. 40 is a great example and a fantastic I agree. But 357 SIG is even more reliable than a 40 Smith & Wesson. Any bottleneck cartridge is going to be the most reliable due to its shape and due to the barrel. And that's why I really like 357 SIG. But what again? People pick it up and they can't shoot it well. So they go. That's exactly why law enforcement switched over. That's why the FBI switched over. The people that are becoming cops and stuff like that, they can't pass their qualifications because they're never used to shooting real power. Hit the like button, guys, if you don't mind. I'd really appreciate that. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. I just got my Glock 21 yesterday and shot it. Man, I love it. Might be my new OWB carry. Yeah, and the Glock 21 is very versatile. That's a great woods carry gun. You can convert it to 400 Corbin. You can convert it to 40 Super. I mean, you can do a bunch with the Glock 21. You just got to look for the right barrels and stuff like that. Navy SEALs use 9mm all day. Yes, Navy SEALs are going up against tons of people. They need the capacity. They 100% a lot 9mm unless the rounds are... Yeah, we're not Navy SEAls. We're not busting into buildings. We're not capturing people. We're not fighting a small army. We're taking our kids to school, going to the grocery store, going to the gun range. I don't know. Going to the gun store. It's my personal opinion. Everyone lives a different life, though. You know what I mean? Talk, I'm thinking about getting a Glock Gen 2 Glock 22. Oh, yeah, the Glock 22 is my home defense. And the reason I have that is so I can put a light on it compared to my smaller guns. And on top of that, that's extra mags for my Glock 27. And your home is your castle. So you're going to want something that can last a long time if it ever comes down to it. Andrew Short, I just started carrying revolvers. Yeah, I love revolvers. I love my Taurus Tracker is one of the most impressive guns I have. It's in 44 Magnum, ported, 4-inch. It's phenomenal. Andrew Short, the SDR Diamondback is great. Yeah, I just shot one. I'm going to be getting the SDR from Diamondback. It's a phenomenal revolver. Like I said, I've been saying this for years. Diamondback makes good quality products, and I think they just got their first law enforcement contracts for their ARs not too long ago. So they're doing something right. Also, are there any TLR1 clones that you would recommend? Don't really want to spend that much, to be honest, on a flashlight. Not that I know of. I know it costs a lot for a lot of this gear, but the one thing I will say, you buy once, you cry once. That's just how it works. You want to get something quality. I promise you. You do not want an Amazon light. I promise you, you buy once, you cry once, it's worth it. Especially when your life is on the line. You don't want something finicky, garbage, you know. Trust me, it's worth it to get a Streamlight. Just keep an eye on it. Check eBay. eBay's always got good deals going on. All right, let's see. Tim Johnson, Navy SEALs use 9mm to carry in a holster. They use their... Yep, exactly. Please do a video covering your favorite carry options, legal in states, limited by 10-round mags. I actually have that video out, but it has changed as of recently. If I lived in a mag-restricted state, I would carry the most power per round, which would probably be a Glock 27 or Glock 33, or a Glock 29 or a Glock 30. And the Glock 30 is just such a nasty gun. It really is. Kerry David, self-defense starts with common sense and situational awareness. I agree. Unless it's somebody like focused on doing harm to that area or that grocery store or that mall, then yeah. 10mm Glock 40 or P365 macro. I think you know the answer to that. Exactly. Frontline military dudes are not fighting full-blown battles with their pistols. Let's see. Depends what you're looking for. I mean, I love my Glocks for reliability, but the P365 might be a slimmer fit for deeper conceal. Oh, yeah. Of course, I am just not a fan of the P365 series. I've had a lot of issues. All right, Mikey Roy, thinking of picking up a new Micro 9. Yep, okay. Rapid for dressier everyday carry. Oh, yeah, that goes perfect with it. And then AREX Delta G2 for my nightstand main everyday carry and a Kel-Tec. Yep, all solid setup to me. I like that. All right, Jonathan Mills, while 9mm is not ideal, and I'm not generally a fan, carrying a flat nose hard cast isn't terrible. Buffalo Boar with the story about a jet taking out a grizzly with that 9mm round, placement is key. Placement is key, I agree. But in self-defense encounters, you don't always have the luxury of having 2 seconds before something happens or 5 seconds before something happens. A lot of times the person's already on you. A lot of times they're grabbing on you. A lot of times you're fighting for the gun. I mean, there's, you know. All right, sir, good point. All right, let's see. Tim Johnson, been in combat twice and never fired the handgun in battle, not once. Oh, yeah, you're going to be using a rifle. You're going to be using a rifle 99% of the time. Harbor Freight is amazing. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. 9mm Underwood, 115 grain plus B plus, 500 foot-pounds at 1,500 feet per second is basically a 40. It's not a 40 when you take a double tap in 40 Smith & Wesson or a Civil Liberty in 40 Smith & Wesson. And that's out of a certain barrel. What barrel length is that out of? And on top of that, a 40 is bigger, and a 40 is going to expand much wider. There is no compare. I hate to say it, but is something smaller going through you or wider going through you more likely to hit an organ, a vital organ, a bone, a spine, anything to stop it? Like, that's just my argument behind it. Carry whatever you guys want, though. All right, let's see. Lethal style, don't have much to say. These just can't comprehend the effort and efficiency of precision engineering with a lot of... Okay. Tim Johnson, Harbor Freight here in Myrtle Beach are always sold out of the TLR clone. I didn't even know they made a TLR clone. So if it's in the same holster and everything, that is crazy. That is crazy. I'll have to check it out. All right. What do I think about the Glock 48 for concealed carry? I love the 48. I got a couple of them. They're great guns. Phenomenal guns. Solo Vera. What's up, man? How you doing? Granter Skine. Yes. All right. Let's see how far behind I am. I'm not too far. All right. Should I get a Gen 6 or an RXM? Wow, that's a tough question. That is a tough question. Well, it all depends. I will say this. The Gen 6s aren't as compatible as an RXM now. A Gen 5, Gen 4, Gen 3, or Gen 3, Gen 4 are pretty dang compatible. The thing is, with a Gen 6, we don't know compatibility right now. We don't know if they're going to make different frames for stuff. We don't quite know. And we don't know what models they're going to be releasing. The RXM, at least you know right now there's a full-size frame. There's a compact size frame, and at the end of February, there will be a subcompact size frame. So, what's up, Chris from Georgia? How you doing? What do I think Glock will release? A Gen 6 26. I think they will release the Glock 26 Gen 6 3 to 6 months from now. 3 to 6 months. I have a feeling. Like I said, I spoke to some insiders. They can't confirm anything by law, but it made it sound like we're getting all the guns we want just in a timely fashion. So at least we have that to look forward to. I love the XDS as well. I got an XDS M40 on the waistband, and I got a CM40 in the pocket until I test my PM40. Yeah, the XDS M45 is nasty, and Glock 27 can't beat it. Any sub 1000 AR 15 recommendation? Oh yeah, Diamondback, Black Rain Ordnance has some. Let's see. We got Radical Firearms. I got a High Point AR coming for the channel. High Point's AR, like I said in the other one. When you think of High Point, you think of disaster guns. They run, but they look disgusting. Their new AR from High Point is completely streamlined. It looks sick, and it comes at $775. So stay tuned. I should have that in a week or so. We'll see how it does. If it sucks, it sucks. If it's good, it's good. All right, let's see. The reality is police departments and military units use 9mm over 40 because shot placement. No, that's not true at all. Let's see. Tim Johnson. As we all know, law enforcement couldn't pass their qualifications with heavier hitting rounds. They couldn't shoot it fast enough. They couldn't place it easy enough. If they could, they've used every round. They've even used 45 GAP a lot of the time back in the day. When they needed more people to join the force, not gun people, random people from anywhere, they couldn't hit with, bigger calibers. It is what it is. Hit the like button if you guys don't mind. I appreciate it. And this is just a debate. It's no offense. It's nothing personal. We're just debating right now. Not a big deal. Fresh. Own both that Gen 6 feels better in the hand, at least for stock module. Oh, yeah. The Gen 6 feels phenomenal in the hand. That's the one thing I will give Glock is that is the biggest change about that gun, other than the trigger and the recoil, is the overall frame on the new Gen 6 feels so different. And it feels so good. That palm swell is just enough to make a massive difference. Yes, I have a G3 CM40, Super Michael. Yes, I do. Tim Johnson, PSA sucks. I think their pistols aren't good, but their rifles are pretty decent. Most of them. And they got a great customer service. So if your rifle's not working, they'll fix it. Do you think they'll release an updated Glock 42? That's what I was going to tell you guys. I do think Glock will release a stack and a half Glock 42, like the 42X or the 42 Plus. It'll have 10 plus 1 flush. And since it uses proprietary mags, they can make it metal mags. Just like a Glock 43, they can make those metal mags. Like a Glock 43X and a 48, they can make those metal mags because it's not compatible with the whole line of guns. So they really could do that. Glock 30S is a phenomenal carry gun, one of my favorites of all time. Rusty Pan, I hope the Model 30 comes Gen 6. All right, Chris from Georgia, who knows? Who knows? Right now, we don't know, but chances are we're going to be getting a lot of the same models we already had, except for 357 SIG. Chris from Georgia, glad I caught your live. Going to enjoy listening. Yep, shout out to you and your family. Thanks for all the support, man. I appreciate it. All right, Mikey, I have a Cyanix AR, can generally pick one up used at a decent price. Solid quality. There you go. There's another option for you. All right, Tim Johnson. Law enforcement uses 9mm because of women cops needing to qualify. It's not necessarily just women cops. That is part of it. That is a major part of it. But also just they needed more people. And the average cop isn't necessarily a gun guy. Everyone thinks of cop people as being, all into guns. I'm all for. It's not the case. Let's be real. The average cop is not. And on top of that, the budget for law enforcement has shrunk so much for training. They spend barely any time at the range. They pass their qualifications for the year, and then they're back. They hit the range however often per year, and that's it. They're not blowing 1,000 or 2,000 rounds every time they're at the range like I do. That never happens. They can't afford it. Joshua Lawless. Taurus G3C is incredible. It's a great gun. They're reliable guns. Super Michael. I'm too poor for Glock. No, you aren't, because they sell used Glocks for $300. $250 at some places. I got a Glock 36 for $225. I mean, you just got to find the deals. Humble Glock, do you think the 26V is reliable? You made me love them. I haven't shot the 26V, so I can't speak from that, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be reliable. Let's see. You should check out Underwood 40 and Underwood 9mm, really reliable. Oh, yeah, I have tons of Underwood ammo. Tons of Underwood. I've been talking about Underwood Extreme Defenders on here. Oh, yeah, they got great ammo. And I love to see that little gun with the fresh design. Yeah, I agree. The Glock 30 Gen 6, the Glock 29 Gen 6 will be a game changer with the way it feels in the hand. Massive change. And with the texturing and the recoil control on the new Gen 6s, or the recoil impulse on Gen 6s, and the new trigger, the 29 and 30 will be just nasty guns. Just nasty guns. All right, OG Slim, if you are going to run with a 9mm for winter anytime, what rounds would you use? I would use Underwood Extreme Defenders. Underwoods, double tap 77 grains. The 77 grains are so fast. On top of that, Civil Liberty makes a nasty 9mm. It's going, you know, I don't know, 1,800 feet per second, 1,500 feet per second, whatever it is. It's just nasty. And it sounds like a cannon went off. The 357 SIG Civil Liberty goes 2,400 feet per second. 2,400 feet per second out of a 357 SIG. That is nasty. Civil Liberty makes some really good ammo. Fresh. Kimber really turned it around. Proud of what they're doing. Interested in the upcoming Warrior series. Yeah, stay tuned. I will be getting a Warrior. As like I said, it's a budget friendly. It's a starter 2011. That's what it is. It's 2011. That's not $3 grand, $2 grand. You know, it's going to be much lower in price, but still runs. Kimber, if you guys know, used to have SIG CEO, and they went cheap. They made guns that look good, but they didn't run. And then, you know, years ago, before the P365 and the P320 came out, that guy went over to SIG. And Kimber started, you know, doing great. They completely turned their company around. But SIG, completely gone downhill. That's why every day you hear about this P320 stuff. P365 release was a disaster. For the first 2 years of the P365, the guns were just a crap show. I'm telling you. And still to this day, you have slides rusting, sights rusting, parts rusting. I mean, mags rusting. What mags rust? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. I brought like 20 guns with me on vacation this year. And when I got there, they're all stayed in stored in the same conditions. The only gun that rusted was my P365 XL. And I was there for a week. It's crazy. I have a Shield 45. It shoots so soft. Rusty pan. I agree. And the trigger on the Shield 45 is just nasty. If you guys could hit the like button, I'd really appreciate that. A. Lopez, Bull Armory, SAS2, TAC Pro, proud of my next pickup. Yep. Respect. I like Bull Armory guns. I'm not a fan of the person that I met from that company. All right, Joshua, I have a fixed mag rifle. Do you recommend taking the mag out or leaving it fixed? I have no idea. I have no idea where you're at, your position you're in. You know, I have no idea. Can't answer that. Can't tell you what to do on here. Medina, best position for carrying in a suit. Well, if you're in a suit, you know, at my wedding, I carried appendix. You can carry here. I mean, it doesn't matter. Probably right here, but not outside the waistband. I'd go inside the waistband 3 o'clock. That way it's just completely hidden. Or I pocket carry. I pocket carry at every wedding I've been to. Every wedding that wasn't mine, I pocket carried. Let's see. Mikey, 2K11 or a handful of steel targets for the acreage and ammo to bring them. Wow. That is a tough question, but a great question. Wow. 2K11 is such a good gun. That'll bring you so much joy. But also you'll have less steel targets and ammo to use with it. Oh, that's tough. That's a tough. If you get bash targets as your steel targets, then get bash targets and ammo, then I'm all for that over the 2K11. But after that, you got to work a lot of overtime. Stop spending money on dumb stuff. Quit spending money at the gas station, and then buy yourself a 2K11. That's my goal. All right. Exactly. Glock really killed it this year. Oh, yeah. Glock is doing real work with their Gen